Hello and welcome everyone, this is Martin and you're once again with StormGain. The topic of today's video is going to be introducing the new crypto indices that StormGain recently launched and then discussing 3 ways of using them profitably in your trading. Now, first of all, StormGain launched 3 new indices, Index 3.0, 5.0 and 10.0. As we're going to see in just a moment, you can find these indices in the StormGain platform by clicking on the indices section. The first one represents the 3 biggest crypto assets by market cap, namely Bitcoin, Ethereum and Ripple. The second one, Index 5.0, is the same as 3.0, but it adds to this Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. Logically, as there is a great overlap between these 2 indices, by observing the chart, we can see a substantial similarity in the charts of the Crypto Index 3.0 and 5.0. And finally, the Crypto Index 10.0 contains the same 5 indices like Index 5.0, but it also has Dash, EOS, Cardano, Monero, and Bitcoin SV. This one consequently is offering the widest diversification and is allowing you to purchase the 10 underlying assets just by opening a trade in this particular index. But now let's briefly discuss what are the ways that you can use them and how you can make the most of them while you trade. First of all, indexes very obviously allow you diversified investing. Essentially, with a single trade, you're buying a basket of the underlying assets. That way, you're reducing the volatility and you're reducing the transaction costs, because instead of buying 3 assets with 3 transactions, you're only doing 1 transaction to buy all the underlying assets. Second of all, indices can serve as a sentiment filter. What I mean by this is they can be a very reliable way of assessing bullish versus bearish sentiment in the markets. A typical way of doing this is by using the 200-day simple moving average. For example, if one of the indices falls below the 200-day simple moving average, it can be considered that the overall sentiment in the cryptocurrency market has become negative, and if you're practicing a long-only strategy where you're only buying, then it may be a good time to liquidate all your positions, or if you don't have any position, then don't open new ones. Conversely, if you are using a long and short strategy, you can use the sentiment filter to stick to long positions when it's above the moving average and favor short positions when it's under the 200-day moving average. And finally, a third way that may not be as obvious is using indices to create what I call a relative momentum strategy. What this means is that we're identifying outperforming assets. For example, within this index, probably 1 or 2 of the assets have performed much more strongly than the other ones. What you can do is, for example, you can look at the Index 10.0 and, for example, create a portfolio by buying the top 5 performing assets based on either the past week or the past month, or depending on what your time horizon is. The reason this is called relative is because these assets are outperforming relative to the other assets within that particular index. Additionally, you can also use this strategy to create absolute returns by just purchasing the outperformance of specific assets. For example, if we take the Index 10.0, what we can do is we can buy the top 5 performing assets and sell the bottom 5 performing, and that way essentially what we're doing is we're creating a portfolio where we're just buying the outperformance of these top 5 against the bottom 5. That way the portfolio is more robust to the overall market fluctuations, as we're trading just the relative difference between the assets. I hope you found this video useful. Make sure, if you haven't already done so, to go on StormGain and visit our video education section, where under the StormGain's Market Insights you can find all the previous videos from last week. And of course, you can start experimenting with the indices that we just discussed today and see how you can make the most of them in your trading. Thank you very much for joining me and stay well. Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in, and if you liked what you see and you're not already with us, click on the link in the description below and become part of the StormGain community. That way you will never miss another opportunity and you will become a more profitable crypto trader. See you soon.